All right, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting day in mathematics. Whoop, whoop. How's everybody doing? Good? Yeah? Let's go. some, some of you need to wake up. Some of you are still like barely getting there. Come on, people. So once again, let's get started with a warm-up number 14. Number 1 and 2 says simplify. Number 1 reads 11 in parentheses, 11 plus 5i, close parentheses, times 9 minus 3i, close parentheses. There's a little typo where it says a little and in between, so don't mind that. Number 2, we got parentheses, x squared minus x, close parentheses, open, minus, open parentheses, 9x squared plus x minus 1, close parentheses. Numbers 3 and 4, it says factor. Number 3 reads 4x squared minus 20x plus 24. And number 4 reads 27x to the 4th plus 54x cubed minus 64x minus 128. And number 5, it says solve for x. And number 5 reads 6y plus 3x equals 18. Now, if you notice, I finally introduced a 2-variable equation on number 5 because we're about to get into functions pretty quick, pretty soon. So make sure you keep practicing your warm-up. All right, I'll give you guys some time. So copy that and see how you do with that warm-up. We'll go over it in a little bit. Okay, go. All right, here we go. For those of you that finished the warm-up early, make sure you go to Canvas and turn in your home play from last time. Last time was pages 316, 317, evens only. So make sure you turn that in as we wait for the rest to finish the warm-up. However, multiply this times that, exclude this division sign. You should have gotten in standard form negative 15i squared. And then we got plus 12i and plus 99. Hands, have you got that? Yeah? Yeah, remember in standard form? Yeah? Okay. Number 2, this one, be careful because this was subtraction. It was not multiplication. So you needed to distribute this negative 1 in here, which gave us negative 9x squared, negative x, and positive 1. Combined with this, so that should have given us negative 8x squared minus 2x plus 1. Hands, have you got that? Okay, good. Number 3, after you set it in standard form, found the GCF, which was 4, your factor should have been x minus 2, x minus 3, and 4. And the 2 binomials in any order, x minus 3, x minus 2. But these are our factors, including the GCF. Number 4, to factor this one, notice it's not a binomial anymore, it's a trinomial. What does that mean, Mr. Q? That we need to group them. I'm sorry, it's not a trinomial, it's a polynomial. So we need to group by 2, so here, GCF here was 27x cubed, and we're left with x plus 2, plus GCF here was negative 64, and we're left with x plus 2. So what's the same here and here? So it's x plus 2, which is the same. And what was left over? Well, what was left over is that and that, so that gave us 27x cubed minus 64. Hands, have you got up to right there? Okay, does that mean that we're not done? No, we're not done. What, Mr. Q? Yeah, look up. Did you notice that this is a cubed? And in order to factor completely, we wanted to find out if this could be factored out now in cubes. What's another way of writing 27 in cubes?
3 cubed.
3 cubed. So this is 3 cubed, x cubed, x cubed. So how do we write 3 cubed x cubed? So it's 3x to the third power. Minus, how do we find, how do we write 64 in cubes? 4. You're like, okay. All right, so what do we do with that, guys? We have to write the pattern. And by now, you guys memorize the pattern, right? Yes, Mr. Q. All right, good. You have a binomial and then a trinomial. So then we write 3x minus 4. Then we write 3x squared plus 3x times 4 plus 4 squared. Is it coming back? Yes? Yeah. So then therefore we're left with 3x minus 4. This is 9x squared plus 12x plus 16. And then don't forget your GCF, x plus 2. And these are my factors, 3 factors. So be careful with those. Because remember, we're factoring completely. All right, let's go to this one. It says solve for x, line down the equal sign. We need to leave x by itself. What's next to x? The 6y. It's a positive 6y. How do we cancel that positive 6y? We subtract 6y, and whatever we do to one side, minus 6y, we do to the other side. This cancels. We're left with 3x equals negative 6y plus 18. And then last but not least, we divide by 3, divide by 3. This is a giant 1. We're left with x equals negative 6y divided by 3. That's negative 2y. 18 divided by 3 is positive 6. And we're done. All right. Hopefully that was a good review. Yeah. And once again, notice I'm slowly introducing back equations and now 2 variable equations. And pretty soon we're going to get into functions. So make sure you're doing your practice with the warm-up. Okay. All right, let's move on. So your asynchronous code, here we go. Asynchronous code for Nearpod, PROIW, PROIW, or PROIW. PROIW. Your agenda for today, warm-up number 14. We're working on division of polynomials, dividing polynomials. And your home play is pages 329, 330, numbers 5 through 11 only. 5 through 11 only. Okay. All right. So once again, your asynchronous code, PROIW. Your previous home play was 316, 317, evens only. Once again, make sure you turn that into Canvas. And our home play for tonight, pages 329, 330, numbers 5 through 11 only. All right? All right, let's be gone with the easy stuff. Let's get into the funner stuff. Yeah, let's go. Our objective for today, I can divide polynomials. Once again, I can divide polynomials. And we've been doing that, by the way. The only thing, instead of saying divide, what did we used to call it? I can factor polynomials. It's the same thing. The only thing we called it factor or factoring. And now it's dividing polynomials. And by now, you should know what polynomials are. Is that correct? Get a fair model going. Do your little fair model really quick. Give me a definition, one example, one unexample, one hashtag without looking at your notes. Because hint, hint, wink, wink, what if Thursday we have a pop party and it includes definitions? Woo, let's go. Yeah, so make sure you know this by now. That's why we've been doing it in every session. My goodness. All right. You got it, Ivan? All right, good. So, should hit something like that. And you can finish that on your own. Okay, writing utensils down. Eyes on the screen. I'm going to go over types of division. I'm going to take you back to elementary. Aw. You were like in second, third grade, fourth grade, and fifth. Y'all ready? Here we go. Writing utensils down, look up to the screen. And the reason I'm going over this is just so that we can see the mechanics of division. Here we go. So in division, there's these types of division ways of writing it. So we have 24 divided by 3. That's one way. Another way is 24 divided by 3. That's another way. And your favorite, what's your favorite? 24 divided by, long division, 3. You guys remember those? Oh, yeah, Mr. Q, these were my favorite. All right. So here goes some terms that I'm going to label, and I'm going to focus on the long division because that's where we're going to be focusing on today. But I'm going to label it with terms so you can remember the terms I'm going to be using throughout the session. This number, which is this number, which is this number, is known as the dividend. Dividend. This number outside, this number that's dividing that, and this number that's dividing that is known as the divisor. Divisor. Okay, is it coming back? Yes? Yeah, I think I remember, Mr. Q. All right. So here goes the mechanics of it. Write your utensils down, look up to the screen. You're like, Mr. Q, I know this. I understand. I just want to make sure that you are following along every step of the way. Here we go. So the question is, what number times 3 gives me 2? None. So that means instead of starting here, I'm going to start over here. What number times 3 gives me 24? 8. 8 times 3 is 24. And then we're going to do what? Subtract. You're like, I remember this, Mr. Q. Okay, but writing utensils down, look up to the screen. Now, this is some of the little things that your noodle needs to understand. Look up. Who noticed that I wrote a positive 24 here when I multiplied 8 times 3? Yes, but then now we're subtracting. What does that mean, Mr. Q? That this subtraction changes this to its opposite sign. Now you realize what your noodle was doing throughout this time? Yes. So what is 24 minus 24? We have 0. The 0 is known as the remainder. Remainder. And what is this one on top over here? This is known as the quotient. Quotient. Those are the terms that I'm going to be using. Can you copy this, please? This long division with its terms, please. And I'm going to be using that throughout the session. Give you some time. Hurry up, please. Ivan, focus. All right. So notice the colors once again that I used. Red for the quotient, the black one for the dividend, the blue one for the divisor, and the green for the remainder. I'm going to remain with those 4 colors throughout the presentation so that your noodle transfers the process as much as we can with ease, okay? It's about to increase from this to about 7 notches. You guys ready? All right, here we go. Example 1, and it says divide using long division. 3x cubed plus 22x squared plus 37x plus 10 divided by x plus 5. Copy that, please. And I'll go ahead and get started as soon as you're done. Hurry up. All right, here we go. Writing utensils down, eyes on the screen. Here it goes. If I was to be in the classroom, and usually at this point I would say, all right, guys, turn to your neighbor and let them know what is the first thing we do when we're working with polynomials. What is the very first thing we do
We get them in standard form, like the
Woo, let's
correct standard form, something like that.
standard form. That is correct. Let me check if it's in standard form. This is to the third degree. Yes. Second degree. Yes. First degree. Yes. 0 degree. Is it in standard form? Yes. Let's check this one. First degree, 0 degree. Okay. Now that we checked that it's in standard form, now I can write my dividend. My dividend is 3x cubed plus 22x squared plus 37x plus 10. What is my divisor? My divisor is x plus 5. Okay, copy that, and then I'll go over the next part. Hurry up, please. All right, here we go. Write your utensils down, look up to the screen. You'll finish copying at the end. I'll give you time. Eyes on the screen. Here we go. To divide this by this, or the dividend by the divisor, I need to start here. What number, focus please, what number times x gives me 3x cubed? Oh, 3x to the second power. Let's see. What is 3x to the second power times x? 3x cubed. What is 3x squared times 5? That's 15x squared. And you're just paying attention. I'll give you time to copy a little bit. So I'm going to subtract. What does that subtraction sign mean? That it's going to change these to their opposite signs. So this is a negative and this is a negative. So what is 3x cubed minus 3x cubed? They cancel. What is 22x squared minus 15x squared? That's 7x squared. And I bring down the next term. Copy that. All right. So here goes the mechanics once again. For those that are a little bit lost, here it goes. I started by checking if it was in standard form, both of them, yes. I wrote my first, which is the dividend, the second one as my divisor, and I started. What number times x gives me the first term here, 3x cubed? So 3x squared times x gives me 3x cubed. But then we multiply the same 1 times 5, that gives us 15x squared. We subtract that. What does that mean? That we change these two into their opposites, which means that this cancels. 22x squared minus 15x is 7x squared. You bring down the next term. Okay. So what does that mean, Mr. Q? That now, look up, we have a new dividend. It's this one. This is where we're going to continue with our dividend. What does that mean, Mr. Q? That we need to do the process one more time. So now I go to this next part and I ask the question, what number times x gives me 7x squared? What number times x gives me 7x squared? So, oh, it's positive 7x, Mr. Q. Let's see. What is 7x times x? 7x squared. What is 7x times 5? Positive 35x. We're going to subtract. And once again, what does this subtraction mean? That this is going to change these to their opposite. Opposite, opposite. These cancel. 37x minus 35, that's 2x. And I bring down my last term, which is plus 10. Copy that, please. All right. So we did the same process, but now we're left with this. This is our new what? Our new dividend. So what do we do again? We do the process one more time right here. What number times x gives us 2x? Positive 2. So 2 times x, that's 2x. 2 times 5, that's positive 10. We're going to subtract. And what does that mean, Mr. Q? That when we subtract, it changes these to their opposite. Opposite. This cancels, this cancels. Oh, we're left with 0, Mr. Q, as a remainder. Okay, so question. For this division, what is our quotient? What is our quotient? Our quotient is this, 3x squared plus 7x plus 2. You're like, that's it? That's it? Woo, let's go. Show me with your fingers how come you are with these. So far, yeah, 5 4s, 5 4 3s, okay. Yeah, we just need practice. Let's do another one together, yeah? But here goes the process one more time to make sure we got it. Step one, everyone should know this, right? Which is standard form. You need to check that both are in standard form. Step two, you set up your dividend, your divisor. From there, you just start your long division one step at a time. Continue bringing down the next term till you have or your remainder. Okay? All right, here we go. Example 1Q. Copy this. Once again, it says divide using long division. We have 10x cubed plus 31x squared plus x minus 6 divided by x plus 3. I'll give you a head start. Copy that and go, and then we'll go over it together. Ready, go. First things first, we check to see if what? If it's in standard form. All right, so let me do the work up here. How do we check that, Mr. Q? We'll write the degree above it just so you can check it. This is the third degree. This is second degree. This is first degree, 0 degree. This one is in standard form. Let me go with this one. First degree, 0 degree. Yes. So my dividend is 10x cubed plus 31x squared plus x minus 6 divided by, and my divisor is x plus 3. Hands if you set up like that. Okay, good. From there, we get started with the work. What number times x gives me 10x cubed? You should have written 10x squared. 10x squared times x, that's 10x cubed. 10x squared times 3, that's 30x squared. We subtract. What does that mean? Once again, guys, that this changes these to their opposite, This cancels. We're left with 31x squared minus 30x squared, that's 1x squared, and we bring down the next term, which is plus x. All right, this is our new dividend. So what does that mean, Mr. Q? We start the process again. What number times x gives me 1x squared? Oh, positive 1x, Mr. Q. 1x times x, that's 1x squared. 1x times 3, that's positive 3x. We're going to subtract. What does this mean? That it changes these to their opposite. This cancels. We have x minus 3x. That leaves us with negative 2x. And we bring down the last term, which is negative 6. And this is our new dividend. We start all over. What number times x gives me negative 2x squared? So that's negative 2. Negative 2. All right, so negative 2 times x, that's negative 2x. Negative 2 times 3, that's negative 6. We're going to subtract. And once again, what does this mean? That it changes these to their opposite. Cancel, cancel. And we should have left 0 as remainder. All right, so once again, what is the question? This divided by that gives us a quotient. So our quotient is 10x squared plus 1x minus 2. Hands if you got that. I'm going to give you one for you to do by yourself. Here we go. Example 1, super Q. 12x cubed minus 19x squared minus 12x plus 4 divided by x minus 2. 12x cubed minus 19x squared minus 12x plus 4 divided by x minus 2. Do that one by yourself. I'll give you some time. Ready, go. Okay, let's see how we did. So where was I? Yeah, 12x cubed minus 19x squared minus 12x plus 4 divided by x minus 2. And then we start. What times x gives us 12x cubed? 12x squared. So that gives us 12x cubed. And 12x squared times negative 2, that's negative 24x squared. We subtract. And what does that mean? That this changes those to their opposite, opposite, opposite. So this cancels. We're left with 5x squared. We bring down the next term, which is negative 12x. Next, what number times x gives us 5x squared? Positive 5x. 5x times x, 5x squared. 5x times 2, that's negative 10x. We're going to subtract. So This changes this to their opposite. Opposite, this cancels. We're left with 12x plus, negative 12x plus 10. That's negative 2x. Bring down the last term, which is plus 4. Do it again. What number times x gives us negative 2x? That's negative 2. Times that, negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2, positive 4. Subtract. Changes to their opposite. Opposite. So this is 0. So what's our quotient? Our quotient is 12x squared plus 5x minus 2. And that's our answer. Hands, have you got that? All right, show me with your fingers. How come you are with those? 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, we got this. All right, let's crank it up a notch, yeah? Let's go. Yeah, this is too easy. Too easy, especially since, yeah, we've been practicing our home play, right? And all that. Copy this one, example 1, super duper Q. 7x cubed minus 6x plus 9 divided by x plus 5. Just copy that. I'm going to go over this one first because this one's a little bit different. All right, writing utensils down. Look up to the screen. You'll copy at the end. So once again, first thing we check is standard form. This is 3rd degree. This is 1st degree. This is 0 degree. Standard form, yes. This is 1st degree. This is 0 degree. Standard form, yes. Okay, pay attention, please. So my dividend is, pay attention, 7x cubed. Watch, or you're going to miss it. Plus 0x squared minus 6x plus 9. And in class, I would ask, turn to your neighbor, let them know where I got the 0x squared from. Where did I get the 0x squared from? In 2 parts. So yeah, so if we look at the dividend here, what is the missing power here, guys? The missing power is the 2. That's why we need to fill in the decimal place with 0x squared. Does that make sense? In order for it to continue being in standard form. Copy this and then write the divisor, x plus 5, and we'll finish it off together. Because this one, the way we, yeah.
Why wouldn't it be 1?
Because if it was 1, it should read here 1x squared. But since there's nothing, that means it's a 0x squared.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Thank you. Yes.
All right, so let's do this one together. Here we go. What number times x gives us 7x cubed? 7x squared. So what is 7x squared times x? 7x cubed. 7x squared times 5, that's positive 35x squared. We're going to subtract. And what does that mean? This makes this their opposite. This cancels. We're left with negative 35x squared because there's nothing here. And then we bring down the negative 6x. Next, what number times x gives me negative 35x squared? Negative 35x. See, negative 35x times x, negative 35x squared. And negative 35 times 35x times 5, that's negative 3 times 5 is 15. 25, that's 175x. We're going to subtract. And what does this mean? Once again, guys, it turns these into their opposite. This is a positive. This turns into a positive. These cancel. We're left with 175 minus 6. That's 169x. And we bring down the last term, which is plus 9. All right. Process one more time. What number times x gives me 169? Oh, positive 169. So 169 times x is 169x. 169 times 5, that's positive, let's see, 7 times 5, 35. 350 plus 500, that's 845. We're going to subtract. And what does that mean? Once again, that this changes this to their opposite and their opposite. So here we go. These cancel. And what is negative 845 plus 9? That's negative 836. And now if you notice, we have a what? A remainder. Okay. So let's write our solution or our quotient. Let's write our quotient. All right. So what's our quotient? Our quotient is this one. So we get 7x squared minus 35x plus 169. However, now we have a remainder. For the remainder, if it's other than 0, we need to write this. Look up, put a plus sign, a fraction bar, plus a fraction bar. So what is our remainder? Our remainder is negative 836. 836. And what was our divisor? X plus 5. And this is our quotient. Woo, let's go. So what's the only thing that's different, guys, from what we did earlier? That at the end we need to add, and then the remainder goes on top of the fraction and the divisor below it. And that's how we write our quotient, including the entire quotient that we got with the remainder. All right, show me where fingers I'll come to you with those so far. Yeah, 4 5s, 4 5s, okay. Y'all ready? Let's do another one. We'll do this next one together, yeah? Here we go. And just to reiterate, what was the most important part on this? When it's in standard form, any power that is missing, make sure you include it in the dividend using a 0 for the placement, okay? All right, here we go. Once again, it says divide using long division, and they give us 15x cubed plus 8x minus 12 divided by 3x squared plus 6x plus 1. All right, Ivan, what's the first thing we check for? Ivan.
Standard form.
Okay, so what powers do we have?
15 to 15. Okay. So you got the third and the first and 0.
0. How about over here?
You have second, the first, and 0.
Okay, so our dividend. Tell me what to write for my dividend.
Right. 15x cubed plus 0x squared plus 8x minus 12.
Thank you. And that's true, because which power is missing here, guys? The second power. That's where we need to include it as a 0 for the placement. Our divisor, since it is in standard form, I'm going to leave it as is, 3x squared plus 6x plus 1. All right, Roman, help me out. What number times 3x squared gives me 15x cubed?
5x.
5x. 5x times 3x squared, that's 15x cubed. 5x times 6, that's positive 30x squared. And 5x times 1, that's positive 5x. We're going to subtract. And what does that do? Once again, guys, this changes all of these to their opposite. This cancels. This one can't cancel, so we just bring down the negative 30x squared. And 8x minus 5x, that's positive 3x. And we bring down the last term, negative 12. And we do the process one more time. What number times times 3x squared gives us negative 30x squared? That's negative 10. Let's see, negative 10 times 3x squared, that's negative 30x squared. negative 10 times 6, that's negative 60x. And negative 10 times 1, that's negative 10. We're going to subtract. And what does that do to all of these? Changes it to their opposites. Cancels. This is 63x and negative 12 and positive 10, that's negative 2. And by the way, this is our what? Our remainder. Okay. So 15x cubed plus 8x minus 12 divided by 3x squared plus 6x plus 1. Our quotient is 5x minus 10. Do we have a remainder other than 0? Yeah, so what do? We do plus fraction bar. And our remainder is what? 63x minus 2. And what was our divisor? Our divisor is 3x squared plus 6x plus 1. And this is our quotient. Woo, let's go. Home play for tonight is pages 329, 330, numbers 5 through 11. And then your synchronous code is PROIW. So make sure you get on top of that and get that done. And once again, if you need to attend tutoring, remember I'm here after lunch. All right. Have a good one, guys. Good seeing you all. Have a good one. See you guys.